We really had these expectations of our wedding night, just, you know, fireworks going off and, you know, just complete oneness and just this great intimate, you know, night. Unfortunately, it was anything but that.
It was just awful. I mean, I was a nervous wreck. I didn't feel pursued by him. I didn't feel a connection. I felt this distance, and it just was a very vulnerable, uncomfortable scenario.
And that really set the tone for the next 2.5 to 3 years.
It just continued, and it just seemed to get worse, and there was just no pursuit, no desire. I mean, I used to make jokes I could run through the house naked, and he wouldn't even, he'd be like, move out of the way, you know. I mean, that's really how it kind of felt. It just felt completely invisible.
She couldn't figure out why her husband didn't desire her. Am I not attracted to my wife?
Just felt just hyper-focused on my looks. Like I wasn't pretty enough, that if I just looked different, if I wore different clothes, if, you know, I had a facelift, or, I mean, just, he likes brunette. I mean, I would say he likes brunettes. He doesn't like blondes. You know, if I was tanner, maybe he likes, you know, Spanish women. I mean, you know, I would just try to think of any reason, you know, why it couldn't be me. And I just felt desperate, you know, to know something, to understand something. It was insanity. I mean.
And of course, I started getting defensive, and it just drove a wedge in between us even more. That she started to look around the house, and it all came to a head at that point. When
I found the pornography, I felt, I mean, what was the most devastating part to me is because I had spent so many times crying to him and telling him, you know, this is, you made me cry, but anyways, just that this was not how just heartbroken I was, and how I wanted to make it right, and I wanted to be connected. And he would just look at me like, I don't understand. What are you talking about?
When we were dating, the pornography was a very big part of my life, and I justified that by remaining pure with Kelly.
Just from my old perception of pornography, and just what was the message I got growing up, is that one woman was never enough. And I just felt like, you know, I never can meet the standard, you know.
And for the first 3 years of our marriage, I convinced her that there was no sex drive, that it was just my age. And that's why there was no pursuit for her.
You know, and then to know that he knew all that, and he was deliberately doing something that was affecting, you know, that part of our life. And so that was really devastating to me, that I felt like there wasn't any care or concern for me. I felt really betrayed.
I really honestly thought that I was going to be able to handle it on my own and control it, and to stop viewing it. Unfortunately, that was not the case.